When the news first broke that Mark Consuelos was joining the cast of 911, fans buzzed with excitement. The hit drama is known for heart-pounding rescues, fiery explosions, and emotionally charged family drama, and Mark seemed like a perfect fit. But while viewers were speculating about what kind of firefighter, paramedic, or police officer he might play, Kelly Ripa, never one to bite her tongue, hinted that there was far more to the story than anyone realized. Because in the Ripa Consuelos household, career choices often come with ulterior motives, and Kelly has now revealed exactly what hers was in pushing Mark toward this unexpected role. The casting shockwave. The announcement came on a random Thursday morning when ABC released a statement that Consuelos would appear in the upcoming season of 911, playing a decorated fire captain with a murky past. It wasn't just another guest spot, either. Rumors suggested it could evolve into a multi-episode arc. On Live with Kelly and Mark, Kelly seemed gleeful as she introduced the headline to their audience. Mark tried to downplay the role, joking, "It's just a guy in uniform with a lot of yelling and running," but Kelly couldn't resist leaning in with that mischievous twinkle in her eye. "He's being humble," she teased. "But let's just say, I may have had a little something to do with this decision. And trust me, it wasn't just because he looks good with a fire hose." The audience roared, but the way Kelly delivered the line hinted at something deeper. What exactly was she up to? Kelly's playbook. Anyone who's followed Kelly Ripa's career knows she's more strategist than spectator. She has spent decades not only building her own career but also weaving Mark's into hers at just the right times. Back in the late 90s, she nudged him into All My Children, which sparked their on-screen and off-screen chemistry. Years later, she orchestrated his guest hosting stints on Live, which eventually transitioned into him becoming her permanent co-host. So when Kelly revealed on air that she'd whispered in his ear about 911, fans began speculating. Was this another long game? The ulterior motive. Later that afternoon, Kelly spilled the truth during a SiriusXM interview. "Look," she said candidly, "I love my husband. I love him at home. I love him on my talk show, but I also think people forget how versatile he is as an actor. And honestly, I got tired of being the only one in this marriage with dramatic monologues on TV. He needed a role that made him sweaty, heroic, and a little dangerous." Her ulterior motive, she revealed, was twofold. Reignite Mark's acting spotlight. After years of co-hosting Live with her, Kelly wanted Mark to stretch his acting chops again. "He's more than just my straight man on mornings," she insisted. "I wanted people to remember he can lead a storyline, not just a banter segment." Personal fantasy fulfillment. Kelly couldn't resist adding with a smirk. "Also, every woman deserves a firefighter husband at least once in their life. If television is the only way I can make that happen, so be it." Mark's side of the story. Of course, Mark had his own reaction. While supportive of Kelly's ambitions, he confessed on Live that he was caught off guard when the script arrived. She comes into the kitchen one morning with a latte and says, "Honey, I found your next role." Next thing I know, I'm doing squats in the garage because apparently I need to look like I carry ladders for a living. "I thought we were prepping for vacation. Nope, we were prepping for fire gear." Mark admitted he wasn't sure about returning to such a high-stakes drama, but Kelly's enthusiasm wore him down. She said, "It wasn't just about me. It was about the world needing to see me with soot on my face." How do you argue with that? The family's reaction. Their kids, Michael, Lola, and Joaquin, found the entire scheme hilarious. According to Kelly, when she told them about the casting, Lola quipped, "Mom, you basically created a thirst trap for yourself." Michael chimed in, "Dad's going to spend more time with special effects explosions than with us." And Joaquin, the youngest, just asked if the family could get free 911 merchandise. Kelly's dream episode. Kelly didn't stop at influencing the casting. She also admitted she's been pitching ideas for Mark's character to the 911 writers. Her dream episode? Mark's character saves a morning show host trapped in a studio fire. Maybe she's wearing an incredible gown. Maybe she's holding a coffee cup. "I don't know, I'm just spitballing," she said with a grin. Fans online immediately jumped on the fantasy, tweeting mock posters of Kelly as a glamorous victim and Mark in full fire gear sweeping her to safety. Fans react. The internet, predictably, had a field day with Kelly's confession. Kelly Ripa is all of us. She literally got her husband cast in her firefighter fantasy, one fan wrote. Another tweeted, "Forget ulterior motive, she's just living the dream." Others speculated that Kelly's matchmaking between Mark and 911 could spark a permanent crossover of morning television and primetime drama. Kelly, always the producer. When pressed on whether she'd consider guest starring alongside Mark, Kelly laughed but didn't rule it out. "I don't want to step on his big TV moment. But if they need someone to play his sassy wife, who keeps him on his toes, I've had decades of practice." It was classic Kelly. Part joke, part genuine pitch. Industry insiders weren't surprised by her maneuvering, either. One Hollywood publicist put it bluntly, "Kelly Ripa has always been 3 steps ahead. If Mark Consuelos is on 911, it's because Kelly willed it to happen. Don't be surprised if it turns into a recurring gig." The bigger picture. Beyond the playful motives, Kelly's push for Mark's casting highlights something deeper about their marriage. Their partnership thrives on collaboration, both personal and professional. Kelly sees opportunities for Mark that he sometimes overlooks, and Mark trusts her instincts, even when they involve fire trucks and hero rescues. As Kelly herself summed it up, marriage is about compromise. Sometimes that means watching sports you don't care about. Sometimes that means your wife volunteers you for a TV show where you're running into burning buildings. That's love. What's next? With Mark's debut on 911 fast approaching, speculation swirls about how big his role will become. But one thing is certain, Kelly Ripa will be watching every second, not just as a supportive wife, but as the mastermind who set it all in motion. And if fans are lucky, she might just get her wish, a dramatic, smoky rescue that blurs the lines between television fantasy and real-life romance. Because when it comes to Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos, the line between work and play has always been deliciously thin.